sports. We're talking women's basketball. This year, they're already 11-6. They only won 14 games last year.
They did?
They're doing great.
I'm going to correct you. I think they were 10-20 last year,
10-20?
Under Cheryl Burnett.
Oh, no.
That's what I got here, 10-20. We'll check that later enough.
10-20.
They were really bad last year. Let's put it that way.
They were bad. They have not had a winning season in forever.
Yeah.
And now, new coach, new system,
doing
Chris.
some things, huh? Well, Borseth, I'm telling you, this, and I said it last week. I mean, he's been so overlooked on this campus, on the campus athletics. What he's done with such a horrible program. And the thing is, it's not like he brought in a whole bunch of new people to this team and just bring in his own players to turn it around. These girls are the same girls that were on the team last year. There's only one freshman on the team. He's made Krista Phillips into a big-time presence down low. You got girls like Minfield, Cooper, and Benson, who are good, solid role players. And they're 11-6, 4-3 in the Big Ten. They got a chance to go to the NCAA tournament. Well, in Borseth's first year.
And that wouldn't be anything new. He's been to the NCAA tournament multiple times before.
Oh, yeah.
20 years coaching D1,
Back at Wisconsin,
D2.
Green Bay.
Right, 73% winning percentage. I mean, you got to admit, this guy looks like a better hire than John Beeline.
Oh, yeah.
Even with Beeline's success at Richmond.
Well, that's what he's saying right now. People get on
me about that. The
jury's
still out. Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'm gonna hold the line on that one for Danny.
Yeah.
The jury is still out on John Beeline for sure. But Borseth.
Yeah, he's doing some good things. Look at these wins already. They've already beaten Michigan State at home, Wisconsin, USC, and Kentucky.
That was
big
the
names
first time
there,
they
Alex.
beat Michigan State in about
a long time.
years.
And they had actually a lot of people in Chrysler Arena. How about that, too?
Yeah, that's true.
We got to keep it moving. Let's move on to football. What show would be incomplete without some Michigan football recruiting?
That's right.
I don't know if you heard, Alex, Terrell Pryor was here this weekend, the #1 recruit in the country.
Wait, who? Terrell? I don't.
That's right, the #1 recruit in the country, quarterback, 6'6", 235, 4.4 speed, dual threat quarterback, comes to Michigan, visits. Had to love it, of course. Who doesn't like the Michigan campus? The only thing is he going to come here? Michigan doesn't have a 5-star recruit on that commitment list. He would fit nicely.
We were talking about this before the show, Chris. We have 14 4-star recruits. That's the most we've had ever, according to Rivals.com. Going back to 2002, when they started to do all this, intense scrutinization of these high school seniors, which, was a little bit absurd to me. But that's not to say I'm not checking it every single day this time of year. But the big thing with Terrell Pryor is if he's not coming here, he's going to go down to someplace in Ohio.
Bad move.
I don't know.
Don't
about
do it,
that.
kid.
Well,
don't
exactly.
Do it.
Exactly.
Ruin your life.
And that's huge because it's like you lose twice here. You don't lose a great quarterback, and we know about Michigan's quarterback depth issues anyhow.
Well, Stephen Threet's pretty happy right now.
Well, that's right. And I've seen that kid play in high school, Chris. I saw him and I liked what I saw. I mean, it was high school.
But he's not Terrell Pryor. And this is my thing. Rich Rodriguez, this is his first year, his first class. He can come in here. If he gets Terrell Pryor, that's going to be that one guy. You can just build around them for 4 years or whatever it takes to get this program back up there. Yep. And then you complement him with guys like Sam McGuffey, who's going to be visiting this weekend, the running back from Texas. Where wide receiver Daryl Stoneham, and Jake Long's gone. He's 6'7", 315. Forget about Jake Long. We got a guy by the name of Dan O'Neill coming in, 6'8", 290. We'll beef him up to about 320 by the time he graduates.
Well, I'm not going to forget about Jake Long, because he's probably going to be a top 5 pick in the NFL draft, Chris. But what's so crazy is with the transfer of Mallett, we just gave ourselves a Drew Henson scenario all over again. Yeah. And we didn't quite do it to ourselves the way we did it last time, promising only one quarterback being recruited that year. But we're in a Johnny Navarre territory, which is
it's
not
that time
great.
of year. Let things play out. We'll see how it goes. That's enough about football for now, Alex. You can take your breather. We know your heart's pumping. His first time on the show, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to take it to commercial break. We'll be right back with the main event, talking college hoops right after this. Stay with us.
Welcome back to You Say Maize, I Say Blue. I'm Alex Prasad. I'm here with the regular Chris Cichon, and of course we're going to bring in Andy Baina, talking some NCAA basketball. And of course, how's it going, Andy?
I'm doing great. Happy to be here on the show, ready to answer some questions for you guys.
All right, well, let's move on to the first question, Chris. That's hard to say. And of course, I don't think it's possible. I don't think it's statistically possible. But will this college basketball season be as crazy as the college football season we experienced this fall, Andy?
You know, you kind of stole my thunder. I definitely agree with you. You know, after the season opened with me in attendance watching my own Wolverines lose to Appalachian State Division I AA team, I was quite upset, you know, and then we saw USC lose to Jim Harbaugh and, you know, the Stanford Cardinals, not to mention, you know, our gallant midshipmen from Navy beating Notre Dame for the first time in 200 years. It was a crazy season. I mean, we saw 1s and 2s falling all season long. I mean, for a good stretch there of 3 or 4 weeks, we had a number two ranked team in the country lose to an unranked team. It was pretty cool. You know, and of course that all culminated in the championship game with LSU, a 2-loss team, winning it all. But you know, in my opinion, college basketball, we see that kind of stuff every year. I mean, it's exciting, it's entertaining, I watch it every year. But you know, we're used to the upsets, you know, the crazy stuff going on. And in all honesty, I don't see Gardner-Webb beating Kentucky, you know, probably the biggest upset of this year, as, you know, a major. It doesn't have anything on, you know, App State, U of M, sadly. You know, really, for this college basketball season to be anything compared to the 2007 college football season, we're going to have to see like a 16 seed make like the Final Four in the NCAA tournament, or Kansas lose to like 2 Division II schools. So I just don't think it's happening.
Okay, and you know the reason why we asked this, Andy, is because this last weekend was actually, you know, pretty crazy in the world of college basketball. You had UCLA lose their second game of the year. People thought they were pretty good.
Yep.
Texas A&M lost as well. And how about number 1 ranked North Carolina? They were undefeated. They lost to a Maryland team that lost at home to a team called American and Ohio.
American University.
They lost
Washington,
82 to 80.
Of course.
Andy, how does that happen? How did Maryland beat UNC?
Well, I mean, I still believe UNC is a great team, and I really think that over a 25, you know, 35 game season, it's so hard to go undefeated. I mean, Maryland's 12-7. They play in the ACC. They're not as bad as everyone's saying. I mean, UNC is a good team, but I mean, they couldn't win out all season. We're going to see Memphis and Kansas fall. I'm fairly likely throughout the rest of the year as well. You know, a team hasn't gone undefeated since Bob Knight's 1976 Indiana team that went 32-0. That was 3 decades ago, guys. You know, really, I think Maryland, you know, they have Gary Williams, a great coach. You know, it wasn't a huge upset. It was just one ACC team going on the road, getting really pumped up for a number 1 team and beating them. You know, on a side note, by the way, not really on topic, but everyone needs the YouTube Tyler Hansbrough dunking on Kenny George, because it's just amazingly funny.
Okay, good to know.
All right, yeah.
Put that one down there.
Yeah, don't do that now. Stay tuned to You Say Maize, I Say Blue. But afterwards,
of course.
You're free to do that. And did you see the North Carolina fans crying at that game, Chris?
Wimps. Wimps. Spoiled.
I didn't even cry at
basketball.
Appalachian State. Anyway, speaking of undefeateds, Andy, is Memphis the nation's real number 1 team?
Well, I mean, this is obviously an argument between Memphis and Kansas, you know, 2 undefeated teams in the country. You know, when I first thought about this question, I was thinking I have to go with Kansas. I'm quite a traditionalist when it comes to like the major conferences, and I generally feel they deserve like the top rankings. But you know, I started thinking about it, and I really like Memphis. And I looked at their non-conference schedule. I mean, they've had some great games against USC, UConn, Oklahoma. They've proven they're a really good team. I'm also a little biased on them, as I know a young man by the name of CDR, and that's not FDR, famous World War II president, but Chris Douglas Roberts. He's from Detroit, my own stomping grounds. I love this kid, and him and Derrick Rose are truly stellar as a tandem. They have a really balanced team, and I really think they've proven they deserve a number 1 ranking, despite, you know, a Conference USA schedule.
Andy, looking now at the Big Ten basketball season, Michigan, we'll start with them because they're right here on campus, unfortunately. They're 5-13 right now. Do they have anything worth playing for right now, or are they just looking forward to next fall?
Well, I mean, there's always something to play for, but is it really 5-13? I didn't even realize it was that bad. I mean, I stopped watching them a few weeks ago.
Unfortunately, Andy.
But anyway, I mean, they have freshmen. They're developing. Any time you get to play in a Big Ten arena, I mean, it'll help these inexperienced guys. I mean, there's definitely the games left in the year. You can't just forfeit everything. I mean, you're a Big Ten program. You have to prove that, you know, you're going to come out and at least play hard every game and prove that you're going to show us something in the next few years. And I really think they will. I mean, I saw Manny Harris play in high school. I loved him. He played against my high school team, and I was just blown away. I mean, being that close to him, you know, on the court that close. But I mean, I really think these guys are going to be competing for, you know, Big Ten titles, NCAA tournament berths, and they're going to beat MSU in the next couple of years. So, really, I mean, we need to give them a break.
If you say so.
Yeah.
2
Chris,
years, I'm really looking forward to it.
Give him a break, Chris.
I'll be graduated by then, but hey, 2 years.
Yeah, in 2 years, I'm sure I'll be getting an email from
Last
Chris
question
talking
for
about.
him, Alex. What do we got?